Professor Shanbhag, wonderful having you. So great to have you. I used to always dream as a child, growing up in Bombay, Calcutta, then Bombay and so on. When is it that one day, someday, I'll be interviewing or I'll be podcasting somebody from Harvard, who's actually gone to an Ivy League university, taught there, and I think that dream is fulfilled. I have with me here somebody who spent more than 2 decades at the Harvard University. So, how does it feel, sir? How does it feel spending 2 decades in US? And if I may add, why is the US the way it is? India, 7,000 years old, the land of Ramanuja, Aryabhatta. Every second Indian goes to US and becomes Sundar Pichai, etc. What are the problems we have in our own ecosystem? Is it the British Raj legacy? Is it the Mughals before that? How is it that US seems to be so flawless given their own constraints? Why are we in India, where society is so important, where everything is about helping the other person? Our DNA is all about helping other people. Bhagavad Gita, Karma Karo, America so commercialized, capitalistic. Why is it that we still find them doing so well and we are so bad? So,
first, thank you. Thank you for the invitation and wonderful to be here. Wonderful to chat with you and be with all the faculty. It's wonderful. For me, Harvard was not a dream or anything. We just do our work. And we kept pursuing our dreams. I kept pursuing my dreams. And it was wonderful to meet mentors who could help me and guide me and push me forward. And I think I was also surprised one day when I ended up at Harvard. For about a year or so, I thought I had this imposter syndrome. Someone's going to find that I'm an average dude and they're going to kick me out or something. So it is there. It's not like you dream of Harvard. You just do your work. And I try to tell many students the same thing. Don't worry about ending up somewhere. It's the journey. Even after undergraduate, I graduated in '84 from engineering. I went to Harvard in '98. So it is not like a straight shot wherever. Not just Harvard, MIT, Harvard, Yale, or Stanford, many other wonderful institutions. So do your work. Focus not on just succeeding, focus on excellence. And I think if you do excellent work, you will be recognized. And whatever the greater organization is, they'll always seek you out. They will invite you to come and join them. So I think that is the key part. So that's how I ended up there. So it was not a dream or anything. I just wanted to do good work and
it just happened.
Make a change. When you say do good work, you make a change. Like, what am I doing? Is it any value? So as long as you're doing good work for something, a greater purpose, you keep going forward and somebody will recognize that work and you'll move forward. We'll be happy at the end of the day. So that's the key. So I think that's the first part. The second topic you asked about is what's the difference between the Harvard ecosystem or generally the US educational ecosystem and India. So I started out with the Indian education system. There's a lot of rote learning. India is also a very young country, so I don't blame India. I didn't blame India at that time.
Recently independent and so on.
Yes, and of course, I was interested even at that time. I didn't know the word, but I was interested in multidisciplinarity. I was not satisfied with just being an electrical engineer. And even in Manipal, I went and did a junior diploma in German language, brown belt in karate, and everything else I could find. I also did my own studies in physiology, biochemistry, cardiology, studying pacemakers on my own time. For vacations, I would stay in the library and study those things. Well, I was interested in interdisciplinarity. Before the word was even
your
there.
DNA had liberal even before.
I didn't even know the word. And I went and did my bioengineering in the US. And for my PhD, I was doing biomaterials with a minor in immunology. Wow. So that's real liberal or multidisciplinary, cross-disciplinary, and that is the beauty of the Western education system. It's not that they're pushing you to do liberal or whatever. They say, what do you like to do? And do that. Because they also recognize that if you like to do something, you're passionate about something, always be very good.
Absolutely.
So my boss never told me to go take any courses. Being in a very good university, like there now, India is getting really good universities. At that time, I was in a small college, University or Clemson University. But I had access to all the courses in all the departments. So I was just meeting people and I said, okay, let me try physiology. Fascinated by physiology. I took microbiology, I took immunology. technology, I took advanced microbiology, and very soon I had a minor in immunology. So it's just following your passion. That's all. So it is, when we say liberal education, we want to let students pursue whatever their desires are and try to be good at it. It's not just like, oh, I just one day I will do physiology, second day I will do metallurgy. You have to have focused like 4 or 5 courses in any given topic. And it's in the culture. You're not the only person doing it. The entire university.
Whole country is doing it. Whole university is doing it.
And everybody's doing it. And the faculty don't think twice about it. It's like, yeah, go on, do whatever you have to do. They also encourage you to participate in sports, in social activities, and everything else. I was also a writer for the local newspaper when I was a graduate student. I was a disc jockey. I had my own show on a Sunday afternoon on the radio at Clemson University.
You still do? You disc jockey?
No, this was when I was a graduate student. But the question is, the point I'm trying to make is, whatever catches your fancy, go explore.
Go explore.
If you like it, do it. If you don't like it, change. Try it out. So I think that is the culture. That's the US system, and I think the European system too. Now in India, we are slowly getting there. I would say in the last 10 years, we have seen like a mushrooming of private universities. We've always had a lot of government supported institutions and universities for a long, long time. Obviously, excellent quality. And they're very unidimensional, I would say. They're very focused on engineering or management. They're very focused. In India, the market is very competitive. Students are very competitive, large population. So for that population, for that problem, I think the governmental institutions with entrance exams focused on scores and very tight grades works. But in the last 10-15 years, a lot of private universities have started, and it's very good for you. We need more of that. And the only challenge, I wouldn't even call it a challenge, the thought about that is, see, in the US also we have government universities, state and federal government, and we also have a lot of private universities. But those private universities were started about 200 years ago, 400 years ago,
by a single
100 years ago.
Now we have
Promoters,
transited.
who are industrialists, financiers, who are railroad magnates, who are steel magnates and everything else. So now about 200 years, they are matured. They are no longer on the boards, they are not running the universities. The universities are self-running. They are self-endowed, they have a large endowment. So they become very mature. And I think from that perspective, the Indian universities need to mature. So 10 years is nothing. It's a 10% of the time with the US universities have gone through. So I think we need a lot of time. So
Do we have that much time? I mean, again, being
that's a different question.
Perhaps being devil's advocate, do we have that much time?
I don't think so, because you have seen the numbers on students going abroad, which is actually sad. Nearly 1 million students. When you hear that 1 million Indian students
Every year.
every year,
1.8 million, almost 2 million students.
nearly 2 million students are going abroad for education, and we are such a great country with 1.5 billion people. It means we cannot provide high quality education for our own. Then they have to leave. If that is the case, then how can we become a superpower in education? How can we become a Viksit Bharat? So we don't really have a lot of time. If you want to be a developed country very fast,
Yes.
So I think the private institutions really need to put on the turbo engines, to fire
Change
them.
their orbits.
Yes, move the orbits, a few orbits really, and get into the next orbits. And yes, just like the US 200 years ago or 100 years ago, the realistic people, the steep people, the whoever people are starting their university. Good. They have the funding, they have the money, they have enjoyed success in the capitalist market, and they are putting it back into education. Fantastic. We're so grateful. But now they need to recognize they're no longer running a steel plant.
Absolutely.
So as long as that professionalism is there, then yes, we are steel manufacturer, but now we can hand it over to professional administrators and academicians to run the academic
And trust the academics.
and
Trust the
academics.
process.
And I think that's the way to make them succeed.
Fabulous. That was a wonderful answer. You've covered a lot of aspects to it. Professor, Uh, 2024, 2023, 22, COVID, slightly pre-COVID, post-COVID, times haven't been great, honestly. A youth population that goes on increasing. We have almost 1 crore students who are in class 12 exams every year. You know, they write the class 12 exams, almost 1 crore. And we all know India is a young population. The job market isn't great. Add to it, ChatGPT, AI is all doing its own damage. What is your message to the youth? How do you? And mind you, this is not the youth like you and me when we were young. Now, these are guys who were born after 2000, the millennials. They don't know what it is to wait for a Bajaj two-wheeler for 6 years. They don't know what it is to wait for a landline phone for 6 years. They're used to getting everything on their hand. They're used to getting a pizza in half an hour. They're used to this generation that gets depressed so easily, which has not seen failure, which has not seen struggles, which has not seen their parents going to temples and praying for them so that they can have a great life. This generation, with so much joblessness, troubled times, what is your message for them? How do they not cut their nerves and face the world and say?
First, like a great author said, the best of times and it's also the worst of times. Best of times because look at the opportunity the students have. Like you just said, we have so many, the young ones have so many great opportunities today. So many programs, so many universities, so many, there's Instagram, there's social media, there is certificate programs, so much technology is available. ChatGPT, oh my god, it's fantastic. Everything is available. And that is also the bad part. ChatGPT is there.
Everything is available. Full employment.
80% of the jobs are going to be done by ChatGPT. So the question is, you can't, I think this, I would tell the students, don't think you will do exactly what your parents did or your seniors 10, 20 years did. So you go to class, get the knowledge from what the professor is teaching on board, and then graduate and get a job. And do the same thing. True. So you need to start thinking for yourself. We want people who can think. ChatGPT or a computer can do the work. You don't need a human being. A human being is known to solve problems. You need critical thinkers. You need problem solvers. That's what an engineer is. The French definition is to be genuine, to create creative solutions to problems. So as long as you are doing that, and teachers also, I would say we need to really upskill our faculty because our faculty need to be teaching this. Correct? They need to be teaching our students how to be creative problem solvers.
They have to be better than YouTube.
Yes.
They have to be better than the guy from Stanford who's doing an online session in YouTube free of cost.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how our faculty need to upskill? If the faculty can mentor the students correctly, our students can actually become creative problem solvers and recognize my competition is not my other fellow student, it's ChatGPT. Absolutely. I don't want to spend my time learning to be a better coder because the best coder is already out there and it's free called ChatGPT. So why are you spending all your time learning how to code? Absolutely. Right? So you need to figure out what it is the market wants. So it's not what you want. If the professor is teaching you, you have to figure out who am I going to be working for? I'm going to work for a tech company. What do they want? What are they looking for? Get those skills. And nowadays you have YouTube, you can get any type of lectures available. Even the Stanford lectures, MIT lectures, Harvard lectures, Johns Hopkins lectures. Everything is available at the click. But of course Instagram is also available. Yeah. So you may choose to spend all your time there. Yeah. But the knowledge is available. The other key important what I try to tell many students is, don't just think because you do everything in your class, you will get a great job. Find out what can you do extra. Do an extra project which is not part of assignment given to you. Go and find a problem. There's so much societal problems there, right? Society has so many problems going on in our society. You could easily I tell my daughter this. Why don't you get a group of your friends and every Saturday and Sunday gather all the housekeeping staff and teach them spoken English? Absolutely. Teach them about financial literacy. If you have BBA students, can they teach financial literacy to the housekeeping staff or the maids in your colony or something? There's so much opportunities you can do, and these are the opportunities which will maybe transform themselves into entrepreneurial opportunities. I'm just giving an example. I actually told my daughter to do. So our students, engineering students, liberal arts students, whatever students, need to get out into society
Identify the problem.
Learn to identify the problems.
Not just solve because somebody else is solving it already.
And many problems are already solved, so many problems need to be solved. If you can figure out how to identify the problem, that's the key part. Then when you go to industry, you know how to identify a problem.
And those guys will always have a job because the problem identified, not just problem.
They know how to find the problem. Absolutely. Many people will, once you give them a problem, they'll solve it. But then they come and say, give me a problem, I'll solve it. So you go find a problem.
Yes.
And then you solve it.
So we need problem seekers.
Seekers. And then they'll find a solution. So I tell our students to do that. Do that in every day. Do it on Saturday, Sunday. Every day. Look around you. Learn to see things. Don't just walk by. Figure out. Your students are walking by and all these stray dogs are lying there. I don't know how many of them have thought, can we do a census of all the dogs? Find out how many of them are vaccinated or not vaccinated.
Spayed, neutered.
And then keep a track of the census. And keep track of how many of them are biting our students. Just like a speaker.
And then join hands with some animals.
It's right there. It's right there. They're walking by them every day. So I think our students, not just here, everywhere, need to learn to find a problem. And I think if they can do that, then their summers are always free. 2 semesters only 8 months, maybe exams and all 9 months. You should have 3 months free every year. What are you doing? Other than watching movies and looking on Instagram and whatever else you do. Go intern for a company. Do it for free. Intern for a small business. Go solve a social problem. Work with an NGO. There's so many NGOs, social entrepreneurs out there. Go spend your time. Give them your time. And in turn, you will learn something. So I think when you do all of this actually is liberal education.
Very, very well said, Professor. Challenges, opportunities, taking them together. Professor, it was wonderful having you. Love to go on and on, but then there's paucity of time. It was great having you, Professor. Thank you so much and look forward to having you soon once again on the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, pleasure.
Wish you all the best.
Thank you.